want to welcome everybody to the Bill Snow Memorial Tree Plaque dedication. The tree behind me is called Serviceberry Autumn Brilliance. And if you look that up, you'll see some beautiful pictures of its seasonally white blossoms in the spring and a fire red in the fall. And when Julie sent the file for the words on the plaque, it was titled Snowproof. And I thought, great, we will not have any snow at the dedication, but based on the weather, I'm thinking it might have meant something else. And I'm going to turn this over to Ray Kirshner to introduce the Snow family, but I want everybody to just think for a minute. Please know that this is a remembrance and that you will have a chance to participate and share a remembrance of your own about Bill for all of us and his family. Your thoughts and words will serve as the dedication for this memorial tree and plaque to Bill. So be thinking about that if you haven't already come with a few thoughts to share. And at this time, Councilman Ray Kirshner will introduce the Snow family.
Thank you, Bruce. With us this evening is Barb Snow, Bill's wife. We got Geoffrey and Bill Snow, the sons. And with that, I'm going to ask Bruce if you want to unveil the plaque, and I'll read it. Okay, the plaque reads, "The City of Mentor is forever in his debt for his immeasurable contributions to the city and its residents." I think we're all aware of Bill's contributions over his 30-plus years as a member of our Planning Commission and City Council. His wit, his professionalism, his innovation, and what I always referred to him as the best-dressed guy I ever knew, contributed to making Mentor the great city it is today. And I know if you notice that the plaque doesn't have a base yet, and in tribute to Bill's commitment to design guidelines and architectural guidelines, the base is going to be three-side brick. So with that, I would ask if anyone wants to make any comments, feel free.
Good evening. I was telling Bill at Bill's funeral, he was always a man that had choice words at the right time. And this is about 15 years ago, and everyone remembers Knoll Creek and the problems we had up there, and Avery Dennison, what have you, and we're going back and forth in a council meeting. And I went to say something, and he politely put his hand on my arm, and he says, "No reason to say anything yet. You're just going to waste your breath. You might need that later in life." And I laughed. So a couple more minutes go by, and I go to say something again. He's like, "Nope, I'm not feeling it." And as you know, trying to keep calm, he shows me his watch, which we've all seen. And another couple of minutes goes by, and he says, "All right, I'm feeling it. Go ahead, say something." And we did. And basically, that was the meeting that Ray could attest, that we came to a simple agreement, and it was done like 10 minutes later. So we're going to miss him deeply. As we all know, he touched our hearts in many different ways, and he always had a positive effect and a prolonged effect on his community. So, thank you.
You know, Bill, he was always good with his words, and I remember going to, we always meet in this room before we go out to planning, and, you know, I would have a suit on or whatever, and he would always say, well, I'm buying what he's selling, I'm buying what he was selling, and to this day, when I'm getting ready for planning and I'm picking out the suit and the tie, what have you, I always think of Bill. Those are the times when I think of Bill, because I just know that he would have something to say to me, and those are the times that I miss him. I really miss him the most, because that's when I knew I was about to see him, and I just miss Bill.
Thank you. That was Brian Cook, who succeeded Bill as Planning Commission Chairman. Who's next out there? It's hard to see with the glare. Please speak up. Kathy? Kathy Mitchell, Planning Department Director.
Thank you. I just want to say, Barb, it was a pleasure working with Bill. When I came here 4 years ago, he was great. He took me under his wing, and he would talk to me before meetings, kind of prepping me and getting me ready, and he made me feel comfortable. He put me at ease. That guy ran a meeting like nobody's business, and I just loved it. And I have to say, I appreciate the time that I had with him. I learned a lot, and I just appreciate what he brought to the city, and just a great man. So, thank you.
Sir?
Keep me from falling down.
Yeah, be careful.
No. I've had a similar experience, or did have similar experience with sitting next to Bill on the dais, and some subject would come up, and he'd look up and down the desk and see who was going to say something, and he'd take his hand under the desk and put it on me and say, "Wait, okay now." And of course, I've had a few opinions in my life. So, but he directed me. He introduced me to the commission. He made me feel real welcome and free to say what I needed to say and what he felt we all needed to say. So he's going to be missed. I'm going to miss him. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I will share something. I started to write a note to Barb, and it got on a personal note, and then I decided I'm going to share it. So now it's going to be a public note, but here goes. Dear Barbara, there's no way that we can identify with Bill's illness, suffering, or all that you have been through in losing him. However, I can identify with his passing in one small way. I have been preparing a lot for moving on to a faraway place. And as we get closer to closing this chapter in our lives, you begin to think about what it will be like when you get to that new place. That is when I realized that I don't really know a soul there except my son and his family. He is the one who invited us to move there. In reality, someday we will all move on in the same way that Bill has. But if we know his son, then we have a family invitation. Then we know it will truly be a better chapter, the best chapter and the best place of our lives. Therefore, standing in front of this memorial tree, I think of Bill being in a place that is truly snowproof. Moreover, I'd like to think of him in some ways doing what he did here, starting conversations with a question. Maybe saying, "Hi, I'm Bill Snow. Who are you? What's going on? How can I help?" Or how about, "I see improvements being made around here. How can I get on the planning commission?" And then with a knowing twinkle in his eye, "By the way, who's in charge?" The tree before us will grow large and beautiful and stand in remembrance of him, but it will be difficult for it to match the large and beautiful life of Bill Snow. Thank you, Barb, for sharing him with us with Mentor. And now, if you or any of the family, see, I told you, applause. Now, if you or any of the family would like to say anything, please feel free.
First of all, allow me to say that Bill never put his hand under the table to tell me to be quiet, okay? That's number one. I could have taught you all how to handle it. Bill loved this city, and the people loved him. And even some of the run-ins that he had with people who didn't want a sidewalk or didn't want it behind their house or thought they should be the last ones in, he still respected them. He still listened to everyone's opinion, and then together with the rest of the Planning Commission over the years, they made the best decision for our city. Bill died a horrible death, and I am sure he's in a much better place watching over to ensure that Mentor has three-sided brick and plenty of green space. Thank you.